and gentlemen, good morning on this sunny Sunday. As you can see, we are on group test ride this time, and you might see, according to the flags, according to the bikes, that we are on a Harley-Davidson. I'm glad I did get a lot of information about the bike. Nobody talked to me, but I know something about it. Alright, so we have modes right here: rain, tour, sport, off-road. I'd say this is road, so let's keep it in the road for now. So 182 centimeters tall, and I can totally flat foot this adventure bike. But this might be due to the reason that we have electronic suspension. As far as I know, you can adjust it. The adjustable windscreen, really strange system of adjustment. I've seen better. Honestly speaking, I've seen better adjustments for the windscreen, but yeah, well, it's not bad, you know. It is squeaky and it is strange and it is not, it's flexing, but well, you have adjustability, so that's actually not that bad, right? Alright, I don't know where I'm going, so I'm just gonna go straight. Alright, so I got myself somewhere in between. So you haven't noticed, we are on Harley-Davidson Pan America, one of the few touring bikes, or adventure bike I'd say, which is, let's say, kind of like a modern European influenced or inspired a touring bike, adventure bike, let's say. We have multiple signs that this is a more or less adventure bike. So we have a really big 19-inch wheel in the front, and we have 17-inch in the back, and we have off-roadish style of the wheel. So this is more or less not aftermarket, but you can choose this kind of a front wheel instead of the spoke ones, instead of road one. This is more or less the, let's say, off-roadish kind of style. We have classic style of European turn signals, because I remember from the breakout that the Harley really likes that left and right individual buttons. So more or less, Harley-Davidson, as we all know, is usually focused on cruisers and choppers and stuff like that. So they came up with Pan America, which is really different point of view on motorcycling from the Harley-Davidson, and they got inspired by the usual, you know, the tourish ADV bikes from Europe and Japan. So this is really close to BMW GS. This is really close to Honda Africa. This is really close to, let's say, Multistrada, Triumph Tiger. You know, all the ADV bikes you can really imagine. So you have really nice sitting position with neutral peg location. You have high windscreen, high bars, really wide bars for the comfort and for the, you know, maneuvering purposes. It feels really light. The size is not that intimidating, because I don't feel, you know, like I'm losing self-confidence on this. It's really easy to maneuver. It's really comfortable to sit on, so I'm not doing any compromises. In comparison, I was yesterday on Ducati Multistrada, so I can really nicely compare to one of the most expensive and most of the advanced ADV bikes on the market here with Harley-Davidson Pan America. So more or less, this is gonna be guided group ride, which is regularly done by Harley-Davidson, which is not my favorite, since, you know, this is not a lot of fun to be riding in a queue. Because I remember group rides with Honda, and those are blast. You know, you have a lot of interesting roads. You have 1 hour. The instructors are great. They can give you a really sporty ride. But this is, at least from the last year, it was boring. Like it was really boring, and it was really slow ride. Like we were on a freeway around the city, on the highway around the city. You have 120 there. We were doing like 70, 80. So yeah, it's a pain in the ass sometimes with Harley-Davidson, but we'll see. Maybe they change something this year. So we have obviously soft limiter, revving just to 4,000 RPM, which is interesting. So from the point where I'm sitting, you can see that we have multiple options for the traction control. You have hazard light, you have modes, you have starter, you have connection to the phone, you have heated grips, you have cruise control, and really nice TFT display. As far as I know, the screen should be touchscreen while you are on a spot, like on an intersection or on the parking lot. So you can, you know, work with it with your fingers. Once you are going, it's not touchscreen anymore. You have to work throughout your buttons, which you have up and down, left and right. You know, I'll try to figure it out, because I didn't really have time to try and figure it out. Then we have really tall windscreen. I don't know if we're gonna be doing any highway run, but the adjustability of the windscreen, it's a manually adjustable, and it's really, you know, strange mechanism. It's flexing. It's more or less plastic with a handle with some stop manual adjustment. So I've seen better. I've seen better on the Ducati, I've seen better on the Triumph, so well, not the best out of the competition. From this look from the cockpit, let's say, you can notice that these cables are peeking out. So we have electronically adjustable Showa suspension, which is, you know, for the Harley-Davidson, if you take a look at it from general perspective, and from the point of view that you are standing by the bike and looking at it, first of all, you have Michelin tires. So Harley-Davidson claims that it was working with Michelin to develop the tires specifically for Harley-Davidson Pan America, which is pretty cool. So they are road and a little bit off-road focused tires, which is really nice. And I like Michelin. Like it's a MotoGP tire, so I have never had anything against the Michelin. I used to have Michelin, and I was satisfied. So that's the first thing that you will take a look, and you'll see Michelin. Then you have Brembo brakes in the front and Brembo master cylinder, which, you know, it's Italian brand and it's a American motorcycle, but they really opened their minds to the European influence, and they went with the vibe of, you know, let's say classic ADV bikes. So we have, yeah, Italian Brembos, we have Michelin, we have Showa forks, and Showa suspension. So that's really cool. I gotta say, that's really cool. Yeah, so we're gonna do a little bit of the highway. I don't really have a chance to be in like kind of like a sporty mood right now, because, you know, not even place to speed up properly. So what did I say? We're on a highway which is 140, 130, and we're doing 80. Oh my god, why, Harley? Why are you doing this to me? Alright, anyway. So a little bit about the bike. Harley-Davidson came up with this ADV motorcycle inspired by the European styles, I guess. It has 2-cylinder V2 engine with 1252 cc, I guess about 150 horsepower, about 124 newton meters of torque. More or less focused on the middle of the range of the RPM, so pretty much, you know, classic configuration. Africa is also 2-cylinder, BMW is also 2-cylinder, Multistrada is V4, so you cannot really compare the V2 of the Harley to V4 of the Multistrada. So obviously Ducati is a little bit ahead of in the department of the power and the torque, but it's really comparable to BMW and Honda. So I don't think you're gonna be lacking any power on a motorcycle like this. So what do we have here? So we have also infotainment, so connectivity to the phone, which we don't have. So anyway, let's go back. Settings are locked while in motion, so I'm not going to show you a lot of that. So let's figure out how the cruise control works. It was easy. So unfortunately, as on KTM or Multistrada, you don't have any radar on this, so you don't have adaptive cruise control and any flashing lights on the mirrors like on Multistrada with the blind spot indication. The wind protection in this setting is pretty fine for your chest and for your shoulders, but it's doing a little bit vibration on my head. So let's just pull it up a little bit, because you can do that like this, and let's see what it does. Honestly, in these 110 kilometers, no change really. It's not the worst screen I ever experienced, but I do have kind of a vibration at the top of my helmet, so it's kind of shaking with my head a little bit, which is not the great, but you might get little extensions on the top to, you know, to let the air ricochet to different direction. The Harley-Davidson claims really good fuel consumption for the ADV motorcycle like this. It's 5.5 liters per 100 kilometers, which is really good. We have about 21 liter fuel tank, which we are looking at. It's really nicely shaped. There are no like special edges or special design to the tank, but it's really comfortable to have just legs around the tank. It's not anything sporty and grabby, but it suits its purpose, so it's totally fine. So we're gonna go to different modes. So we have a sport mode. You can change it on the fly, and I can tell you right away that there is a significant change in response on the throttle, on-off throttle. That's a significant change you can feel. I don't think there is any power reduction in different modes, as far as I know. I know in different modes you can have rear ABS turned off, but that's due to the off-roading and adventure style, which I don't think we're gonna be doing looking at the other bikes. I hate group rides with Harley. Okay, so we're doing highway again, I guess. If I'm doing this like 2 more times, I'm not going to be thrilled at all. This sucks a little bit. Let's go back to the road mode, because we are just doing 110 and that's it. I'd love to show you what this can do. I'd love to show you a little bit of different roads. However, this is a guided group ride, and don't worry, I'm struggling too.
One eternity later.
So we are in a city finally, and doing these kind of 50-60 speeds and going around the roundabouts. The brakes feel really good. They feel stiff but not too bitey, so kind of like ideal combination for this such a bike. Like you'll feel that they brake. I can't even wire the engine up. But it pulls really nicely. Smooth, smooth. Smooth and progressive power. Back to the highway. Oh my God.
2 hours later.
Okay guys, we're coming back to Harley. So this was more or less podcast. I'd say honestly this is not my fault. You can see that I'm just doing the exact speed as everyone in front of me and exactly the same road, since this is a group ride. So I'm sorry, this was a podcast, not the proper review. However, at least we got a chance to be sitting on the new Pan America. Really comfy bike, different design, so if you don't want to go through the Italian or Japanese road for the ADV bikes, still you have Pan America there. Nice, comfy, responsive, user-friendly. Like, I don't really have, objections other than the windshield and vibrations. And the screen, it's really nice, but you can't really do much with the screen unless you are, stopped. So, yeah, it was fun. Not really. Stay tuned. We're gonna have 2 more bikes from Harley, and we'll see how it goes. Cheers.